Hans, what does a bold move from this industry look like for you?
I think we, like I mentioned at the beginning, we need to really reimagine. I think we are at a turning point which doesn't call for incrementalism, it calls for radical internal change of the telco. Now that might be very insular from one's point of view because we are talking about telcos, we are talking about the world. Why is it important that telcos also return to being the darlings of investors? Because there is an investment gap today. There is an access gap and there's an usage gap. And unless telcos get back on the investment wheel and propelled by the momentum of investor confidence in telcos and the telco returns, I fear that during the same period, not only does the telco get disintermediated, but at the same time, access reach of the hyper broadband services and connectivity will also be impeded. And therefore, I think we are at what I would call a telco moment. The Kodak moment was so incisive that it blew up. The telco moment, unfortunately, is not incisive. So we keep postponing this reimagination and change. And I think I was discussing with you this morning about FedEx or DHL. You go back 10 years, and these courier companies would have had what we can call a FedEx moment, where they would have seen the future that their services would be consumed on marketplaces, on the Amazons and Alibabas and whatever else, that they would need to open up their APIs, they would need to create value-added services, they would need to add security, they would need to add insurance, payment options, all of that innovation, not to go around chest beating about themselves, but to empower an entire ecosystem and deliver their services through marketplaces. So our moment is, I think, similar. We see this marketplace future. We see $1 trillion of value. And unless we occupy a substantial space between where we are today and that marketplace future for end-to-end solutions, we will be disintermediated, we will lose potential value. And hence, I think this telco moment is very important to address. And even if I just pick up on, finally, on where I ended, on the global mesh, you take a FedEx or a DHL, they are global. But the telcos are not global. Therefore, telcos must collaborate, they must federate and create this global mesh, which will empower the ecosystems and the marketplaces. So I think that is the courage we need. And we need to tell ourselves it's now. It's not next year. We cannot go on incrementally seeing the TSR curves and the ROIC curves fall any further.
So let's make it a FedEx moment, not a Kodak moment. It's going to be an important one. And for those not familiar, the infamous Kodak moment of the first digital camera invented, taken to the Kodak board, and they said, this will disintermediate, let's bin that, and we know the rest is history.